Record highs across the country, and the computerized system that makes your car so convenient.
Tired of throwing money at your car every few months? You're not alone, and that's no accident. Hidden beneath routine maintenance are overpriced services and simple problems disguised as major repairs. But here's the twist. With a few smart tricks, you could keep that $5,000 in your pocket. Yes, you heard that right. Join us as we expose 20 genius car hacks that the pros won't say out loud. Number 20, cleaning off your battery corrosion.
How you doing, everybody? Justin from Corrosion Village. We got a lot of fun activities going on here.
A vehicle that refuses to start, no warning or even a sound, is often mistaken for the end of the line. Mechanics will nod gravely and declare the battery has failed. But growing evidence suggests the real problem may be far less dramatic and far less expensive, something the auto industry quietly profits from ignoring. According to insiders, the true culprit in many dead battery incidents isn't battery failure at all. It's a hidden chemical buildup. This white or bluish substance, commonly crusted around the battery terminals, is known as corrosive residue. Its presence creates a barrier that blocks electrical flow, reduces power, and mimics the symptoms of a completely drained or dead unit. And when neglected, this silent sabotage can escalate quickly, leading to total power loss and roadside breakdowns. What most drivers don't realize is that this situation is not only preventable, it's easily reversible. All that's required is access to the battery and a simple $5 wire brush. Scraping the terminals clean takes less than 5 minutes, requires no mechanical training, and doesn't need a single professional tool. Yet many drivers, unaware of this fix, are convinced by shops to replace an entire battery, spending upwards of $250. Add the cost of emergency towing, and the bill can soar past $400, all for an issue that could have been resolved with pocket change and basic awareness. Some experts now believe this is more than ignorance. It's deliberate neglect. Industry insiders claim that car manuals barely mention terminal maintenance, and service shops rarely suggest preventive cleaning, choosing instead to wait for failure. Why? Because a dirty terminal doesn't earn them anything. A full battery replacement, on the other hand, keeps the register ringing. Maintenance professionals with nothing to gain from the repair industry recommend a strict routine. Terminal cleaning twice a year, once as temperatures rise in the spring, and again before the cold hits in the fall. This brief ritual could mean the difference between a smoothly running vehicle and an expensive tow from a dark roadside. The facts are plain. There is no mystery, no complex fix, just a common chemical reaction, a $5 tool, and 5 minutes of care. The tragedy? Too many drivers learn this only after paying the price. The advice is clear: act before the silence. Scrub away the buildup and strip this hidden trap of its power before it empties your wallet and leaves you stranded. Now, this is just the first on the list of hacks. So if you want to get more about these hacks, keep watching. Number 19, always clean the cabin. Air filter yourself.
Their heater isn't working properly. Could the cabin air filter be the culprit? We're going to find out next.
Buried behind the dashboard of almost every vehicle is a tiny, overlooked component that quietly affects every breath a driver takes, yet few even realize it exists. This little-known element, often dismissed by repair shops as a routine check, is known as the cabin filtration system. Its quiet job? To trap airborne threats, find dust, vehicle exhaust, allergens, and industrial pollution before they infiltrate the car's interior space. And while its function sounds like something only a professional should touch, the truth reveals a very different story. Experts have revealed that this critical filter is typically hidden just behind the glove compartment. It requires no special equipment, no hydraulic lifts, no mechanical know-how. In most cases, the entire unit can be accessed and replaced in under 10 minutes using nothing more than bare hands. Yet many drivers are being charged as much as $70 for what is essentially a basic slot-in replacement. The shocking reality? The replacement part itself retails for as little as $10 to $20 at common auto supply outlets or online, marking up the labor by nearly 400% with no added value. Insiders suggest that consumers are routinely misled into believing these filters require expert attention. But behind closed doors, mechanics have allegedly been exploiting the average driver's lack of awareness, quietly billing them for minutes of work while disguising it as professional service. And this isn't a one-off incident. The cabin filter must be swapped annually for optimal performance, meaning car owners who outsource this simple task are potentially throwing away at least $50 every single year. What's more, the cabin filter is just the tip of the iceberg. Additional components such as engine filters and even fuel purification systems are reportedly just as simple to change if only vehicle owners were given the proper knowledge. But critics argue that keeping these secrets buried ensures that service departments continue to rake in billions through unnecessary charges. As reports continue to surface, a growing number of auto experts are urging drivers to question the real cost of routine maintenance. The mechanics won't say it, the manuals won't scream it. But the truth remains. Car owners are sitting on a goldmine of DIY hacks that could collectively save them hundreds, if not thousands, over the life of their vehicle. And all it takes is a closer look at what's hiding behind that glove compartment door. Number 18, the rattle test that could save you. Engine failure doesn't always come with warning lights or dashboard alerts. Sometimes it starts with a silent, forgotten component, one that mechanics rarely mention unless it's too late. It's called the PCV valve, or positive crankcase ventilation valve, and its failure is being quietly linked to severe engine damage, rising oil consumption, and sludge buildup that can choke a motor from the inside out. The valve's job is simple but vital: regulate pressure and route harmful gases out of the engine. But when this tiny device clogs, a common issue over time, it traps moisture and fumes, which mix with oil to form thick, tar-like sludge. The long-term result? Starved lubrication, blocked passages, reduced performance, and eventual engine destruction that could cost thousands. The shocking part? Diagnosis takes just seconds. Remove the valve and shake it. If it rattles freely, it's working. If not, it's likely clogged and needs replacement. The fix costs less than $10 and requires no specialized tools. Yet this test remains widely unadvertised. Critics argue that as long as drivers remain unaware, full engine overhauls stay profitable. Those who know about it are now urging routine PCV checks every 10,000 to 15 miles. It's a dirt-cheap habit that could save an engine and a bank account from disaster. Number 17, don't skip checking your brake pads. Experts are now warning about a dangerous oversight plaguing millions of vehicles, and it's not just a mechanical issue, it's a safety crisis. The braking system, often praised as a car's first line of defense, may actually be a ticking time bomb if neglected. At the heart of the problem, worn friction pads. When these small components thin out, stopping distance increases dramatically, putting lives at immediate risk. Even worse, failure to act early can lead to deeper damage, specifically to the rotors, a much costlier fix. The financial setup is staggering. Drivers are being charged over $250 per axle at repair shops for work that can be done at home for under $50. Insiders confirm that with standard tools and basic instructions, the average vehicle owner can perform the job in their driveway, saving hundreds. And that's not the only warning. Screeching sounds, grinding noise, pedal shakes, and longer stopping times are all signs your brakes are silently deteriorating. Still, many ignore them until the damage is catastrophic. Brake pads generally last 30,000 to 50,000 miles, but urban traffic, sudden stops, and heavy usage drastically shorten that lifespan. Professionals now urge routine checks because what's truly at stake isn't just a car repair, it's survival. Speaking of survival, if you think you've seen enough, wait till you see the hack in the next number. Number 16, the $12 maintenance hack. Behind countless brake failures and skyrocketing repair bills lies a fluid most drivers never think about until it's too late. Brake fluid, often overlooked, has a dark secret. It's hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air over time. That hidden moisture doesn't just dilute performance, it quietly eats away at brake lines, master cylinders, and calipers from the inside out. Experts warn that once corrosion begins, the damage is irreversible, leading to spongy pedal response, longer stopping distances, and full system breakdowns. Many owners only discover the issue after their car fails to stop in time or after a mechanic hands them a bill for $800 in brake rebuilds. But here's the twist. This silent destroyer can be stopped with a $12 bottle of brake fluid and a simple gravity bleed kit. Flushing the system every 3 to 5 years prevents internal rust, restores sharp braking, and avoids expensive parts replacement. Shops rarely push this service unless upselling during inspections. Why? Because letting fluid rot inside the system guarantees future work. Those in the know are quietly performing this flush at home without a lift and without draining their wallets. Brake failure doesn't warn you. This tiny hack might be the difference between control and catastrophe. Number 15, the hidden engine destroyer lurking under your hood. Buried beneath plastic covers and silence lies a part that holds your engine's fate, yet most drivers never check it. The timing belt. If this vital link fails, the results are catastrophic. Pistons slam into valves, components shatter, and engines seize. Repair costs? Something from $2,000 upwards, sometimes doubles. And worst of all, there's no warning. Insiders in the automotive world have long whispered about the planned neglect of belts. While manufacturers quietly recommend replacement intervals between 60,000 to 100,000 miles, many drivers are left unaware until the damage is done. Visual inspection can be deceiving. Cracks, fraying, and dry rot often start on the inner surface, hidden from view. The industry knows this. Timing belt failures are a goldmine for repair shops. But here's the hack they'd rather stay buried. Replacing the belt at home using basic tools and a $100 part can save a fortune and prevent engine death. Mechanics rarely push preventive belt swaps. Why would they? A snapped belt guarantees future work. But vigilant owners are breaking the cycle, checking tension, listening for squeals, watching for wear. Ignore it, and your engine's days are numbered. Catch it early, and you stay miles ahead of disaster. Number 14. Why skipping the parking brake could quietly destroy your transmission. What looks like a harmless habit, leaving your car in park without the handbrake, is quietly wreaking havoc beneath the surface. Experts have long warned about one overlooked component, the parking pal. This small metal catch is all that holds your entire vehicle in place when parked. Rely on it alone, and stress builds silently until it snaps. Transmissions weren't built to be parking brakes. The pal was designed as a backup, not a full-time load bearer. Yet countless drivers unknowingly let their entire car's weight rest on it daily, especially on slight inclines that seem flat enough. Over time, the strain warps components and chips away at internal gears. The result? A sudden failure that can cost $1,500 to repair, or total destruction that demands a $5,000 transmission rebuild. It's a failure the industry rarely warns about. Why? Because every skipped handbrake is future profit. And here's the unsettling truth. Using the parking brake costs nothing and takes 1 second, but failing to engage it, even once, can unleash a chain reaction that leaves a vehicle undrivable. Insiders know the trick. Set the brake first, then shift to park. Do it every time, even on level ground, because one day, flat won't be flat enough. Number 13. The cold air scam. When the vents blow icy air on a freezing morning, most drivers panic, assuming their car's heating system has failed. Mechanics know this reflex well, and some exploit it. What they often don't say, the issue might not be the heater at all. It could simply be a dangerously low coolant level. The heating system relies on hot engine coolant to warm the cabin. When coolant dips below the safe threshold, there's not enough circulating fluid to reach the heater core. The result? Freezing air, not because the heater's broken, but because the system is starving. Drivers are then misled into thinking the fix requires hundreds in labor and parts. Yet, a simple coolant top-off, often under $10, can restore full heating performance in minutes. The catch? Few check it. Even fewer are told to. The coolant reservoir is hidden in plain sight, but ignored, as the industry quietly banks on expensive diagnostics and unnecessary replacements. A lot of people recognize the pattern. Cold air isn't always failure. It's a signal. Pop the hood, check the level, top off with the right coolant blend. Don't let a cheap fix turn into a wallet-draining repair that was never needed in the first place. Number 12. The dirty secret behind engine misfires. Drivers noticing their engines stumbling at idle or choking during acceleration are too often funneled straight into expensive injector cleanings, services that routinely exceed $100. But buried beneath this industry push is a quieter truth. In many cases, it's not a mechanical failure, it's just buildup, and there's fuel for that. Top-tier gasoline, often dismissed as overpriced, is actually engineered with superior cleaning agents, specifically polyethylamine-based detergents. These aren't gimmicks. They're designed to dissolve the carbon and gum-clogging modern fuel injectors. Yet many stations quietly supply bare minimum blends that barely meet government cleaning standards. The result? Gradual injector fouling and a car that stumbles, hesitates, or even stalls. Instead of shelling out for invasive services, drivers who switch to certified high detergent fuels, used exclusively over several tanks, often report full recovery. But this solution is rarely mentioned by repair shops, who profit far more from necessary cleanings. Number 11. The hidden tread trap. Behind every smooth ride is a quiet conspiracy, uneven tire wear that's draining wallets nationwide. While the rubber still has visible tread, drivers are unknowingly sacrificing grip, fuel efficiency, and handling precision, all due to a routine that's either forgotten or overpriced: rotation. What shops don't emphasize is that front and rear tires wear at vastly different rates. Cornering, braking, and drivetrain layout put uneven strain on each wheel. Ignoring this imbalance causes tires to degrade irregularly, forcing premature replacements often mistaken for normal wear and tear. But the fix isn't complicated, and it doesn't require a mechanic. Swapping tires at home, just every 5,000 to 7,000 miles, evens out wear patterns, extends lifespan by thousands of miles, and protects against steering instability and blowout risks. A jack, a wrench, and 30 minutes can sidestep hundreds in replacement fees and a loss in driving safety. Yet many drivers never hear this from tire centers. Why would they? Selling a new set is far more profitable than empowering customers with a preventative hack, and most people have stopped waiting for alignment upsells or service reminders. They've taken control, rotating tires on their own schedule, not the industry's. Number 10. Clean battery terminals with baking soda before power loss starts. Mechanics have quietly confirmed a troubling truth. Many vehicles that won't start didn't suffer from a dead battery at all, but from terminal corrosion that crept in unnoticed. A chalky crust may seem harmless, but it's a silent voltage thief. Experts claim it restricts the flow of current, weakens startups, and slowly chokes out electrical systems, beginning with flickering lights and escalating to complete power failure. Here's where the so-called baking soda trick has gained underground fame. Savvy drivers, those unwilling to fork out hundreds for a tow or new battery, have long relied on a simple mix of baking soda and water. Applied to the corroded terminals, it neutralizes acid deposits instantly, restoring clean connections without touching a mechanic's bill. Industry insiders remain tight-lipped on why this method isn't advertised more often, but some suspect profit motives. After all, power loss triggers costly diagnostics, replacement parts, and labor fees. Cleaning terminals takes minutes. No tools, no expertise, just vigilance. By the time warning signs appear, the damage may already be underway. Drivers are urged to inspect and clean battery posts regularly. A single maintenance hack like this could mean the difference between a smooth start or a sudden stall at the worst possible time. Number 9. Use a cheap code reader to catch hidden engine problems. A growing number of car owners are uncovering a critical gap in modern vehicle repair: diagnostic codes that dealers and mechanics often read after damage has already begun. Industry insiders have revealed a concerning pattern. Check engine lights are just the beginning. Hidden fault codes, ignored or undisclosed, can signal deeper issues, but by the time a mechanic flags them, the repair costs have ballooned. That's where pocket-sized code readers, often sold for less than a tank of gas, are rewriting the rules. These simple plug-in devices scan the onboard system for error codes the dashboard won't display. Drivers using them are detecting misfires, fuel mix irregularities, and failing sensors long before a breakdown occurs. Shops rarely mention this low-cost workaround, and some experts believe there's a reason. Early detection means fewer service calls, less upselling, and a more informed customer. In a system where surprise engine failures generate high-profit repairs, silence benefits the seller. Every vehicle built after 1996 includes a standardized OBD2 port. With a cheap scanner and a few online searches, drivers can gain a level of insight once reserved for technicians, turning a high-stakes guessing game into a controlled, preventative strategy that puts control back where it belongs, and could literally save you a lot. Since we're talking mostly about saving, the next number on this list will help you do better, so stay tuned. Number 8. Apply silicone spray on weather stripping to prevent costly door seal replacements. Few car owners realize the quiet sabotage taking place every time they slam their door shut. The soft rubber lining, known as weather stripping, bears the brunt of extreme temperatures, road grime, and daily friction. And while dealerships are quick to offer expensive seal replacements once wear becomes visible, one overlooked household item is quietly saving savvy drivers hundreds in unnecessary repairs: silicone spray. Reports suggest that applying a light coat of silicone to door and trunk seals every few months dramatically extends their lifespan. This colorless, non-greasy barrier shields the rubber from drying, cracking, and sticking, a silent destroyer that many drivers don't detect until it's too late. Auto shops rarely promote this low-cost solution, and critics believe it's not by accident. Worn-out seals often lead to leaks, interior mildew, and wind noise, issues that drive up repair quotes and total shop revenue. By skipping this 1-minute routine, car owners unknowingly step into a profit funnel that begins with a small fix and ends with a much larger bill. Weather stripping failure is not an if, but a when. And in the shadow of that ticking clock, a $5 can of silicone spray has become an insider's weapon against a cycle of engineered decay. Number 7. Grease your window tracks to avoid expensive regulator repairs. Something strange happens when power windows start moving slower. Most drivers ignore the drag, chalking it up to age, but insiders know it's the quiet warning of a dying window regulator, an expensive failure often blamed on wear and tear. The truth? It's usually preventable. Hidden behind the door panel, window tracks accumulate grit, dried moisture, and road debris that slowly strain the motor. Once the friction climbs high enough, the regulator, a fragile network of cables and gears, gives out. What follows is a repair job that routinely drains over $300 per door. Yet mechanics rarely mention the simple routine that can block this costly spiral: greasing the window channels. A quick spray of dry lubricant or silicone grease along the inner guides slashes resistance, allowing the glass to glide effortlessly and reducing load on the mechanism. Technicians admit off the record, neglected tracks are the silent destroyers of most window systems, and while manufacturers could warn drivers or include maintenance tips in manuals, they don't. Why? Some believe broken regulators create repeat business that benefits repair chains. Behind the tinted glass lies a ticking time bomb. But those who grease early, they disarm it, quietly, cheaply, and without a service invoice in sight. Number 6. Use a paint pen to seal small chips before rust spreads. It starts with something barely visible, a pinpoint chip on the hood or door. Most drivers never notice. Some see it and shrug. But what they don't realize is that this tiny blemish has already started a countdown. Left exposed, that chip becomes a gateway for corrosion, and once rust creeps in, the damage isn't just cosmetic, it's structural. Body shops don't advertise this part. They prefer when drivers delay, because by the time the rust bubble surfaces, it's too late. Panels need grinding, paint jobs become full resprays, and the bills? They can soar past 4 figures. But detailers and industry veterans quietly pass around a secret: the humble paint pen. Not the art store variety, but the touch-up kind made for automotive finishes. When applied directly to a clean chip, it acts like a shield, locking out moisture, salt, and road chemicals before they can eat through metal. Experts would agree that sealing chips early is the closest thing to rust-proofing without a full wrap, and all it takes is one overlooked tool hidden in plain sight. Number 5. Reset the transmission shift. Logic by disconnecting the battery briefly. Modern transmissions aren't just metal gears and hydraulic lines, they're governed by silent digital algorithms. Over time, these learning systems adapt to driving patterns, but sometimes they adapt wrong. Rough shifts, delayed engagement, and sluggish acceleration quietly creep in, and most drivers are told it's normal wear. Dealerships know better, but resetting the logic isn't on the service menu, it's on the bill. But there's a little-known shortcut, and it doesn't require a scan tool. By carefully disconnecting the negative terminal of the battery for just 15 to 30 minutes, drivers can force the transmission control module to revert to its factory shift mapping. No special software, no $200 diagnostics, just a hard reset, clean, immediate, and strangely effective. Number 4. Add fuel stabilizer. If you're parking the car for more than 30 days, few drivers realize that gasoline isn't built to last. In as little as 30 days, untreated fuel begins to degrade, losing volatility, gumming up fuel lines, and turning into a varnish-like sludge that chokes injectors and clogs pumps. Mechanics call it bad gas, but what they don't say is how easily it could have been prevented. One overlooked solution hides in plain sight: fuel stabilizer. A few ounces mixed into a near-full tank creates a protective barrier against oxidation, evaporation, and moisture infiltration. Yet, drivers leaving town, parking for winter, or storing a vehicle long-term are rarely told about it. Why? Some experts suspect the answer is profit-driven. Stale fuel leads to no-start conditions, rough idling, and, most lucratively, costly fuel system cleanouts. Dealerships and shops earn thousands, restoring what could have been protected for just a few dollars. Worse, this kind of damage isn't covered by warranty because it's labeled as maintenance neglect. Those who know the trick swear by it: add stabilizer, run the engine for a few minutes to circulate it, then store with peace of mind. It's a 2-minute task the industry won't emphasize, but it might be the cheapest insurance a car owner can buy. Number 3. use a magnet to catch loose metal shavings during oil changes. Beneath every oil change lies a quiet threat most drivers never see, and no mechanic rushes to explain. Microscopic metal slivers, sheared off from pistons, bearings, and other moving parts, swirl inside the engine oil with every mile. Over time, these fragments act like industrial sandpaper, silently accelerating engine wear. So why is no one warning about this? Some believe the answer is disturbingly simple. More wear means more repairs, and more repairs mean more money. But there's a trick, one that very smart people use and repair shops rarely mention. It's a magnet. Not just any magnet, but a small, high-strength one affixed to the outside of the oil filter or drain plug. This tiny tool silently pulls metallic debris from the oil, trapping it before it can recirculate and grind away at vital components. During each oil change, the collected shavings reveal a hidden record of internal wear, evidence many shops would rather stay hidden. Using this method doesn't just preserve the engine, it exposes early warning signs long before dashboard lights flash. Yet automakers and dealers remain oddly quiet. Could it be that extending engine life too much threatens their bottom line? One thing's certain, those who use this hack rarely go back. Number 2, use aluminum foil behind headlights to improve brightness without new bulbs. There's a strange trick quietly circulating among veteran mechanics and survivalists, one that boosts headlight clarity without touching the bulbs. It's not sold in stores, and it's never discussed by car part manufacturers. The tool? Kitchen-grade aluminum foil. Behind every dim headlight is a reflector that over time fades, yellows, or corrodes, slashing brightness by nearly half. Dealers insist the only fix is a full replacement or expensive upgraded bulbs. But beneath that sales pitch is a cheaper, faster solution they rarely mention. By placing a carefully shaped piece of aluminum foil behind the bulb within the headlight housing without touching the electrical components, light intensity and spread can increase dramatically. The foil bounces stray light back through the lens, restoring lost clarity and expanding the beam range. Some insiders suggest this trick undermines profits on pricey LED upgrades, which may explain the silence. But those who've tried it call the difference undeniable. Finally, we've come to the last number on this list, and just like the saying, the best is kept for the last. So, continue watching till the end. Number 1. Spray WD-40 on wiper blades to restore grip and avoid visibility hazards. A disturbing oversight hides in plain sight. Windshield wipers that screech, skip, or smear at the worst possible moment. Most drivers are told to replace the blades entirely, but a small group of insiders have revealed a simpler method that dealers don't advertise: WD-40. This common lubricant, when lightly sprayed on a cloth and wiped along the rubber edge of each blade, can recondition the material, restoring lost flexibility and grip. The result? Smoother, quieter sweeps and improved rain clearance.
Experts quietly admit this trick can delay replacements by months. Why the secrecy? Because clean vision shouldn't be a profit scheme.
Quiet solutions like these are being buried, while overpriced repairs are pushed to the masses. So don't blink, because while you're driving blind, someone else is cashing in. Stay tuned, because the next hidden trick could be the one that saves your life or your wallet. We'll be back before the next warning sign appears. Stay ready, and thanks for watching.